Welcome to Activations with JJ Ascension Message. The two main themes for today's episode are activating your creativity by connecting with mentors on the astral plane, and secondly, the topic of Stargate rehabilitation, for which I will be channeling a message from the Star Mothers during this episode. I'm excited to share some insights with you and see what the Star Mothers will bring us today. So let's dive right in. Welcome, beautiful souls. If you are new, I want to extend to you a special greeting. Hello. Welcome to the Activations with JJ community. And I'm so honored to have you here to co-create, because I've always said this podcast would not be here if there was no one to listen to it. So I feel your presence. I feel your love. And again, just very, very thankful to have so many beautiful souls around the world. Oh my goodness. Throughout these last few months, it's been incredible to see the different people coming into the gatherings I do. I don't know if you're aware, but I do several monthly virtual gatherings with different themes. And each time I'm just in awe of where people are coming from. I know that Spirit is bringing us together. I'm really thrilled that I also have my all access pass now so that you can sign up. It's kind of like a monthly membership, and you get access to all of the Zoom links for the live virtual gatherings, as well as all of the playbacks. And there's usually between 6 and 8 gatherings a month. So much healing and activation and grid work coming through. And I'm always channeling all kinds of different beings. I'm channeling light language. I'm channeling messages. They're so fun to co-create with you. So check that out in the link below if you're interested in being with me throughout the month in those different gatherings. As I mentioned, today's episode actually has 2 topics. The first one is a follow-up on a theme that came through a few weeks ago. I don't know how many of you remember, but I talked about the importance of nourishing and activating our creativity. I felt that we were heading into a season of creation. And in fact, that's why I actually initiated my Creative Blueprint Activation Program and my Creative Activation Group Mentorship. It's been really, really fun to work with people one-on-one and in these group settings, and I've actually learned a lot by working with them. So I want to share with you a fun little story about some things that have come up in our Creative Activation Group Mentorship Program, which I am actually co-creating with a dear friend of mine, a light worker, who is so talented, and her name is Teresa Chachet, and she has some wonderful insights that she's bringing to this group. And there's 2 things I want to share that we've learned. One is this fun experience that Spirit led us through in one of the group sessions, and it was actually our first one. So sometimes when I go into these, I don't know exactly what's going to come through, and I really just surrender to Spirit. So while I was walking them through a guided meditation, our journey in the guided meditation led us to connect with an artist, a writer, a painter, someone from history who had also flourished in their creativity. And I felt led to have the person watch them while they were producing whatever it was that they created in that moment of just sheer creativity, where their muses were working full time. I said, take and envision this. And sometimes, we don't always see with our third eye. So it was even a feeling. It was like, feel what it's like to see them doing this. And so as these different individuals were tapping in, it was so cool to see the variety of artists, painters, all kinds of people coming through. We actually took that theme, and I gave them a little assignment that week to go in and connect with that artist's higher self and notice how that felt. And some of the different individuals that came through, there was a big variety, you're going to see this, were Michelangelo, T.S. Eliot, Prince, the recording artist and composer. We had Langston Hughes and Martin Luther King also come through. Nostradamus came through. And so you see like that great variety there. It was just so cool. And I want to encourage you to do that. That's actually why I'm bringing this up. I want to encourage you to if you are in a season of creativity, or maybe you're stuck, to take some time one day in the next little while and sit in meditation and bring forward an individual that would be able to help you in this phase of creativity that you're in. See who comes forward. It may surprise you, just like the person who had Prince come forward. She says, I never really felt connected to Prince, but there was something about the energy of his creativity, I think, that really spoke to what she needed. And so just trusting Spirit will guide you through that. So that was the first thing that I wanted to share. The second thing is an incredible sort of methodology that dropped in for Teresa. And what it is this concept of grounding our creativity into the real world so that we can actually take it from our mind, because all kinds of people are getting all kinds of ideas, but very few are knowing and understanding how to root it into the physical world. And so what we're doing with our Creative Activation Group mentorship is she's received these downloads about how to actually bring this to pass, and it's all surrounding the numbers 333. And I love how when I bring people in to support my containers and my mentorship groups, they're so gifted and they are receiving their own unique information for the group. So I'll have to tell you a little bit more about it later, or you might even see it in an upcoming course. I might turn this whole thing into a little bit more of an on-demand course, and you'll just have to check that out. But it's a really incredible seeing this complement between the divine feminine, all the ideas in the activation, into bringing it into the physical, the masculine part of it. And I've seen that not only in our Creative Activation Group mentorship, but also in the Blueprint activation that I did, the one-on-one mentorship. So I guess that's kind of my final message regarding this topic is, as you are creating and as you are thinking of different things to create, I want you to remember the importance of balancing the masculine and feminine, the sort of etheric realms and the physical realms, so that whatever it is that comes to you can be birthed into the real world and come to pass. Now, that doesn't always happen, and I brought that through in Beltane. Sometimes you get a seed, and the seed does not flourish, and the seed does not turn into a flower, and that's okay too. But just knowing and understanding that when there is something that you want to bring through, figuring out how to do that, because there's lots of creative people out there, as you know, and the hardest thing, I think, for so many of us is bringing those ideas into fruition, into the physical realm. So those are some of the themes that are coming up in these group containers I'm doing. I just wanted to share that with those of you who are still plugging away, creating modalities, creating books, whatever it is that's coming through for you. And I'm sending you all kinds of love and want you to know that I'm on your side. I'm in your corner as you're doing that, because we need more light workers who are doing these things, who are bringing this beautiful work to the physical realm. All right, so we're going to transition now into a totally different theme. Could be related, though, because in our Sundays Star Mothers Council, many of you know that I'm co-creating a 3-month course with my friend Queenie of Reiki and Flow Healing and Katie Jane of And Crystals. And the three of us have come together with the support of our two amazing lightworker friends, Carla of Always Present Guidance and Monica of Healing with Monica. And we've got this team, and we are facilitating these beautiful containers where we're channeling the Star Mothers. This last Sunday, Queenie was taking the lead. She brought in the Hathors, and then Katie Jane also stepped in to co-channel. And there's something that she said that Spirit said, pay attention. I don't know if you've ever been listening to a podcast or even in a course, and Spirit's like, beep, beep, pay attention, like, listen to this. And the thing that she said was Stargate Rehabilitation. Now, if you follow my Instagram, you may have noticed that I put out a light code drawing, and that light code drawing was a reel, and I mentioned that light code drawing came through during the Star Mothers course. I was channeling written in that Star Mothers course. Normally I channel spoken most of the time, but during that course I channeled a couple of different drawings, and that Stargate Rehabilitation just came forward, and Spirit was like, this is important. And then I saw what a work that was and how the grid workers around the world are facilitating that. So we're not only gridding and anchoring into Gaia, but we're also working with the different stargates that were open in Lemuria during the time of Atlantis. I know I talked about one during the time of Lemuria that was connected to the Pleiades. I also feel that it led to Sirian energy. In addition to that, I've brought through some information recently in a co-channeling session with my friend Flo, who is a facilitator at our upcoming Lemuria conference. And what came through in our session was that the Sirian Stargate has a Stargate to Andromeda. So it goes Andromeda to Sirius, A and B to the Sirian Stargate to Earth. So there's all kinds of Stargate stuff going on. I don't know if all the bells are dinging off in your mind or in your head and you're like, yes, yes, yes. But I'm excited because I'm planning on channeling today a little bit more information about this. I will be the first to admit I am by no means an expert on Stargates, but thankfully, through my channeling abilities, and we all have them, you know that, I can connect in with the Star Mothers. I don't know which Star Mothers I'll bring through. I'll kind of wait and see who wants to step in. But my goal is to have them sort of bring clarity to the concept of Stargate rehabilitation and reactivation is what I'm feeling, and to see maybe how they can help us begin to carry this work out and to accelerate this work so that we can bring through those ascension codes and ascension frequencies that will help Gaia on her journey, her rebirth into the new Gaia. So we're going to go ahead and settle in. As you know, this is a time that you might want to just go into a little bit of a meditative state, listening to this music as we drop in. Yanaitan wisat kloliama. Gisha sumuria laitia shana katiaya. Zoya tia mahai atskiasha. Uroya tianai satakoisiama. Dear beloved souls, we come to you as the Sirian Star Mothers with great love and joy. As you have requested more information regarding the Stargates which surround the planet Earth and have since her creation. We know that you understand that due to different changes to her frequency, because of the free will of the collective, several of these Stargates have become inactive. However, as was mentioned by this channel, you are entering a season of quote-unquote springtime with the blossoming of these Stargates as they are rehabilitated and reactivated, brought to the glory and the magnificence of the previous golden ages on your planet. What we wish to share is the importance of activating these Stargates in a specific sequential order, which will facilitate the upgrades to Gaia's frequency in a way that is most comfortable for her and for the collective. And for that reason, we encourage you to focus on the activation of the stargates, which were open and present during the time of golden Lemuria. This may be difficult to understand, for we know that you often consider a stargate to be something in the sky. But during the times of Lemuria, these stargates were located underwater. The majority of these stargates present in the age of the flourishing of the land of Mu led to the Pleiades and to our corner of the galaxy, Sirius A and Sirius B, and even Sirius C. And we call upon those Lemurian star seeds that hold the memories of being a Stargate keeper to travel on the astral planes now and begin to assist these new stargates to calibrate, that they may serve the inhabitants of Earth today by allowing codes and frequencies to flow freely back and forth from our planets, our stars, to yours. For as much as you may think that you have missed your connection with the stars, we too have missed a stronger connection with our beautiful sister, Gaia. And the opening of the stargates serves not only your planet, but it also serves us, our star planets, and our collectives. And so you may now come to understand that as you too receive Ascension downloads and information, upgrades, frequencies to benefit your planet, we gratefully receive from you. For there are special codes, special frequencies, and unique vibrations that can only be transmitted from Gaia. We feel as if it would be wise for us to bring our message to a close and allow you to integrate that which you have heard. However, we are anxious to return to each of you personally or through this channel to elaborate more upon this subject. Thank you, dear ones. Kiana kadai kokoimaka. Kiana kadai kokoimaka. Kiana kadai kokoimaka. Kokoimokai mokai mokai. This is JJ. I want to just invite you to come gently back from that meditation and take some deep breaths. Wow. What a beautiful transmission. And so fascinating, so enlightening. Truly a gift to have the Sirian Star Mothers come through and share that with us, and giving me a lot of clarity personally, to be completely honest. I know many of you are aware of the fact that we have just opened our Golden Lemuria portal. It is a free community with resources for Lemurian starseeds. And I just felt like opening the gates wide open, like Spirit said, call in all the Lemurian starseeds you can find, any and all who will answer the call. And you have. I mean, this portal has grown exponentially since the day we launched it. And for those of you who are not aware, now I'm sure you might want to step into it. You can find the link below. But it's a precious container right now, especially with the context of what they said, in that we are tapping into all of those beautiful sites all around the world where there are stargates underwater. I've always known there were portals underwater, but these stargates underwater, just so incredible to imagine, to let your mind go there. And I know that during that transmission, I'm sure that some of you were activated by that. And just, again, I'm kind of just still integrating, but I don't want to fail to mention that as they said all that, I now believe very deeply that what I bring through in our May 27th Galactic Family virtual gathering, I 100% am going to set the intention to continue to bring through messages from the Sirian Star Mothers. And so if you are able to join us live, it's going to occur at 2 p.m. Pacific on the 27th. If you're able to come and join us live, I would love to have you there. You can find out more through the link below. But if you're not, and you're like, oh man, I can't make it, I have something going on, don't worry, the playback will also be available for you. So you can check that out after the fact, later on, maybe a few days after the 27th. It should be up on my shop. But I am going to set the intention again that's because I'm kind of, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of like, okay, what's next? Like what more do we need to know? How, I do feel that that's why I was having so many people access their Lemurian past lives. So for those of you who are in the Golden Lemuria portal, or if you're going to join it now, be sure to listen to that Lemurian past life regression and see if anything comes through about those stargates, underwater stargates. I want to know if that does come through for you, because I've got this community and I know so many of you are incredible light workers and intuitives yourself. So I would love, love, love to know what you see, sense, or feel as you listen to that Lemurian past life regression. And if you've already listened to it once, I do know that every time you listen to it, something new will come through for sure. So just an invitation to do that. Wow. Well, here we are. We are nearing the end of May, and I'm already gearing up to create the June 2023 monthly energy updates. So many themes are coming through. I have this notebook and this list of themes coming through. I will have to narrow it down a little bit, but I know that it's going to be an incredible month in June as well. And we have solstice. We have all kinds of energies coming through for June. But my friends, I'm just going to close out this message today by reminding you that I would love to connect in any way, shape, or form possible. The next podcast episode that I publish will actually be a Q&A session. I'll basically answer any and all questions that have come through in the last 4 weeks as comments on my YouTube channel videos, or as questions in my Apple Podcast allows you to type things in. So if you are listening and you have a question that you're just wanting to know, maybe throw out so that I can have maybe some guides come in and answer, this is your last chance before I publish that episode. So you still have time. hop on into the comment section of this YouTube video, ask your question. If you've already asked one, don't worry, I'm compiling all those questions. So in just a couple of days from now, so like towards the end of the last full week of May, because I'm publishing this one on the 23rd of May. So around the 25th, 26th of May, that's when I will publish this episode that is literally an answer to all these questions that you're going to throw out. Hopefully, maybe there might be time constraints, so most of them, or as many as I can get to. But I'm excited for that because we had our channeled Q&A just a little bit ago, and that was such a fun experience. So make sure you drop in. Let me know what your questions are. I'm going to close out as I typically do. I just want to send you so much love, my friends. And of course, remind you that I am you and you are me, and we are we. Until next time.